Hello, you're welcome to News Review on Wisdom Yard Television. I am Emilokan, your favorite host, and I have with me in the studio Mofi Fulua and Oduayo. Both of you, how are you doing? What's going on?
I am doing well. It's been an amazing day. So,
exactly.
Yeah, I'm doing great.
That's good. And once again, Happy New Week. And it's still not late to say Happy New Year because the year is still fresh. Thank you very much for joining us today. And if you're yet to subscribe to the channel, please do that right now. And make sure you're following every social media platform. So now let's go to the business of the day. We have several newspapers we'll be reviewing, after which we'll be moving to our hot picks. And from Punch newspaper, we have the following headlines. Inflation rate under Buhari not the highest, Kenyamo. Content creator Aproko doctor reveals battle with brain tumor. No reason to review Tinubu's health status, Kenyamo. Federal government begin minimum wage review. Daily Post has the following headline. Labour Party is our challenge. Saraki names 4 zones PDP will win. Nigeria immigration opens recruitment portal, lists processes as well as requirements. PVC declared public holiday, Ohanaheze tells Southeast governors. Makinde gets accolade from PDP headquarters over outstanding performance in Oyo State. And now from Guardian newspaper, we have the following headlines. Buhari presides over last Armed Forces Remembrance Day as Commander-in-Chief. The Premium Times has the following headlines. Tinubu meets APC candidates, speaks on health as well as collaboration. COVID-19, Nigeria records 29 fresh cases in 1 week. Katsina police review names, ages of abducted worshippers. The Nation's newspaper has the following headlines. Aggrieved APC members threatens to dump party in Kwara State. Autumn urges INEC not to postpone 2023 election. The Leadership newspaper has the following headlines. DSS will be rubbishing Buhari judiciary if it go after CBN governor despite court order. ACJHR. Tinubu fortifies media team, appoints Jega Abdulaziz as aides. Special Forces rescued 12 Edo train station kidnapped victims. The Tribune newspaper has the following headline. After Natasha's request, Atiku promises 10 million naira dollars for youth empowerment. Jakonde best Lagos State Governor. Tinubu's strategy based on falsehood, appropriation, Fashola Ambode's achievement, Atiku Campaign Council. The Vanguard newspaper has the following headlines. Nigeria had highest inflation rate under Obasanjo and Atiku, not under Buhari, Kenyamo. I am committed to one Nigeria, Peter Obi. Emilokan politics will breed dictatorship, Tunde Bakare. WHO recommends use of face masks in public as COVID-19 resurfaces globally. 53 years after, we must say never again to another war. Obi. Burna Boy, Wizkid, and Davido win big at Afrima. Kanu, federal government in breach of court order, IPOB. Ukraine, Russia Belarus launch joint air force drills. Thank you very much for staying tuned with us. And now we'll move into our hot picks. And the first one, which is inflation under Buhari, not the highest, according to Kenyamo. Festus Kenyamo, the spokesperson for the Presidential Campaign Council of the All Progressive Congress, that has the standard bearer Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, as the inflation raises under the President's Major General Muhammadu Buhari is not the highest in the history of the country. According to him, while he was talking at the Arise TV morning show earlier today, he was responding to certain questions about what Buhari's legacy Tinubu would build on in terms of economy and security, as well as other cases in Nigeria. He claimed that inflation rate was actually the highest during the administration of Atiku, Obasanjo, and the likes, not under Buhari. He's believing that Buhari's administration still records the normal economic rate, and the inflation recorded during this administration is still better compared to that of the Atiku, as well as Obasanjo, Atiku, and the likes administration. So telling us that Buhari is still a better pick for us.
Have we ever bought the premium motor spirits petrol for 400 naira per liter? We did last year. Have we ever bought a bag of rice for close to 40,000 naira? We did last year. Electricity had been off for how many days? Am I talking about
months now?
I know of a place in Ogun State. They've had NEPA like since January 2022.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now
And today
whole
is
year.
16.
Yeah, it's been a whole year since they saw up. You know, in Nigeria, we shout up NEPA since they shouted up NEPA last in that particular town. A lot of things we're experiencing in Nigeria. I don't know, maybe before I was born, but ever since I was born, we've never ever experienced things like this before. And somebody now is coming to tell us that inflation is not even the highest during
the regime.
I want to be, you know our daddy Festus Keyamo, you know what Festus Keyamo does, you know how he talks, how he tries to cover things up for the APC and all of those things. Of course, it is expected of him. When Obasanjo endorsed Peter Obi, they were all screaming and shouting and lamenting and ranting and a whole lot of things. So I want to believe that he's still paying them. As they sweet us, paying them, he's still paying them. But they have to say, okay, during Obasanjo's regime, most likely I was just there. The only thing I would know about Obasanjo's regime is the things that I read about.
Sure.
But then, nevertheless, Festus. It was Lai Mohammed that I used to think used to lie. But first, I think Festus has taken the basic from Lai Mohammed.
One thing is, I love the fact that Festus Keyamo is good at what he does. It is his job.
He's a spokesperson.
God bless you. So what they expect of a spokesperson? I can't come out and talk against my party. So the thing is nobody. Like I would say, if you give a madman a hope to make ages or what is it called, he's going to do it to himself. He's going to defend his party.
Sure.
But one thing I want him to know is that during Obasanjo's regime and Atiku, things were not as tight as it is right now.
But okay, I want you guys to say from this other point of view, and which is, as a then, I actually, listened to some of these old songs by Barrister, and I was talking about, they were actually lamenting about the fact that 7-Up that used to be maybe 10 naira increased to 20 naira. They were also lamenting.
Yeah.
They were lamenting about, is it Gary or something? I wasn't able to pick, but I was just reminiscing on the whole, the lyrics of the song. These people were also facing something, but what they were complaining about, I was just like, hey, look at these people. Something from 20 naira to 15 naira, it still need to.
There's no complaint, any complaint that they can give as a den that can be as worse as the one that we are giving.
Okay, yeah, my point is now like, the same way we are complaining about something, I actually pray for a better Nigeria. But do you know that by the time it will be the time of our kids, when they will complain, they will not be complaining of 40,000. Maybe I actually pray for a better Nigeria, but just using it as an instance, they will be complaining of rice that we used to buy for 70,000 naira. Why are they now selling it 150k? You get that kind of thing. So the gap, amen. So the gap will now be something. So I want to just put it like based on the generation and all.
Is at every point, people would complain.
Sure.
The only reason we can say life was better then is because life is tough right now.
Sure.
If the life we are living right now was actually better than what they lived in, we would have said, you guys suffered. But because compared to now, we can say,
even those people then, I think they prefer then to now.
Yeah, so compared to now, we can say the margin is just obvious. Even the blind can see the old margin. So as at the time of your own reference, things were actually still better compared to now. And if somebody can now say we are not suffering now, it was then they were suffering. We don't even need to debate on it.
The money that they pay to workers then, it might be little, but they can actually do something.
But it's sustaining.
But now they increase everything. The money they increase is not even enough to actually cater for a family.
I actually saw a news that the federal government is trying to review the minimum wage.
If they pay minimum wage for 50,000 naira, it will not still be enough with this economy of the country. So it's just basic. It's just like that.
Festus.
Okay, I just believe Festus just wants to do his job, and you know,
Exactly.
always
At the point
keep
of
going.
was he responding to somebody?
Yeah, he was responding.
question
There was a particular during the morning show on Arise TV. They were actually asking him about the Tinubu's legacy. I'm sorry, Buhari's legacy that Tinubu wants to follow. So he started talking about, okay, people have been complaining and people have been saying it, but what they always say is the fact that Buhari's inflation during Buhari's tenure has been on the high. But do you guys know that no, it actually started from Obasanjo and Co.
Said that without making reference to the olden days. I mean, if you want to say something, just say, okay, this is what you could do. This is what I feel like is going to happen. You don't have to make reference to something.
So something that, yeah, sure. Even the thing is just that it's not 100% that the Obasanjo article tenure is not like on the 100% that they were very good, but we recorded much of success during the Yaradua tenure, you know, and the Jonathan tenure, so to say. And this Buhari's tenure from 2015 has been something good. Let me say the rest of it. Okay, meanwhile in the other news, we have 2023 presidential election. Labour Party is at challenge, and Saraki names 4 zones to which PDP is likely. Oh, sorry, he's saying it like PDP will surely win. With less than a few weeks to the 2023 presidential election, the former Senate President Bukola Saraki has revealed that Peter Obi of Labour Party is his party's only challenge in the coming election when it comes to the southeast region of Nigeria. And he also insisted that PDP will win the 4 political zones, which include the Northwest, the Northeast, South-South, as well as North Central during the election. Thank God he did not even mention anything like Southwest. He disclosed this while appearing on the Arise TV morning show still on Monday. And you should recall that Yesom Wike, Saraki, Fayoshe, as well as Bola Mohammed were actually agitating for the presidential post alongside Atiku. Yeah. But they were lucky to lose it to Atiku. And now they are, I love it the way they are coming together to support Atiku. But him saying that Southeast is the only problem, I love that. You know, I love people that come out to say the truth. He says it and he's actually saying it that, okay, we know what we are going through and we're very sure that the only thing that can be the problem for us during this election is Southeast, because Southeast has Peter Obi, and, you know, we've already secured the North Central, we've secured the Northeast, the North South. But I'm sorry, the Northeast. But when we talk about the Southeast, I'm all of out. So I love it when it's actually framed with it.
At first, it was APC that said Labour Party is their only challenge.
Really? I've not heard that.
When they said they don't have problem with that party, APC and Labour Party.
I've not seen that news.
It's like over 3 weeks now. Wow. When they said it.
So they finally. I thought they said that Labour Party
is not the problem, but Labour Party is like it's challenging them. Now somebody's coming out from PDP to say the only problem, the challenge we have right here is Peter Obi. I feel everybody is terrified.
But at the end of the day,
I would be surprised if another person actually emerges as the president. But right now, Peter Obi is choking them.
But okay, wait, Odu. According to Saraki himself, he said they've secured Northeast, they've secured North West, but they mentioned 4 political zones, and in Nigeria we have 6 political zones.
They have 4 already.
So they have 4 already. So it's only one that is the something. So they have 3 out of stop it.
We have 6 geopolitical zones.
Okay.
You have 4 to yourself.
Okay.
And you have 3 to yourself. Why should you be scared?
My point.
Why should you come out to say the only challenge you have? Then you shouldn't bother yourself about Southeast.
No, they are very sure that Peter Obi has the masses.
Each time I talk about the Labour Party and Peter Obi, it's always like, Finn, are you their support? Are you campaigning for them? No. But in the real sense, Labour Party has scattered everywhere. If PDP is going to come out to say a particular party is our only challenge, should be the APC. I mean, in reality, it should be the APC, but Labour Party is just like the Egungun Eja in their neck. It's just
choking.
It's choking.
And everywhere they go.
For a party that they have, their integrity group, they have, a wonderful group, they have amazing group, they have different kinds of groups in
the party. Create them.
It was just Wike and Otorum's group, we know. What if
there are other parties
that they are not as popular as the G5 governors? Anyways, if PDP can come out to say Labour Party is their child, PDP of all parties.
Of all parties,
I mean,
exactly.
It's just heartbreaking. Even if I feel like even if Labour Party is you guys only child, you're not supposed to say it because it's embarrassing.
I love it that Saraki was able to admit that. You know, at least Saraki is not like Festus. If it was Festus would have said, though we don't even see that Labour Party, but they are just doing as if they are the one. You know.
Let me talk about Festus' voice.
Okay.
Let's say it in Festus. The way you
Wait, are you Festus?
No, I just
let's have it.
The Labour Party does not actually have any structure that they want to use to rebuild Nigeria, regardless of the fact that calm down. Obviously, it will just be putting one or two and
together.
But I feel like it's quite embarrassing for the old People's Democratic Party to say one Labour. Who is Labour?
There's one thing I learned growing up, and that is the fact that once you know your problem, then you don't have a problem. Yes, once you identify, the day a madman knows that he's mad, that's the end of his madness.
They were both agitated. They were both talking about the fact that all the endorsements Peter Obi has been getting is
actually... It's now that they are getting it. So Saraki coming out to say, hey, any fans name, you can't be like Peter Obi one choke. You know, right now they've identified their major opposition. So the next thing they need to do is to strategize. You know, look for a way to take back that southeast. I think that's the only one for you.
Talking about strategies, same way Peace was trying to have an alliance with smaller parties.
Even though it failed. Even though it failed, and SDP just had to come and hey, Joe. We do not do anything. Don't do anything to anybody. Okay, let's see. I do so much anticipate this February a lot because I'm willing to be here so that we'll talk about it. Okay, meanwhile in the other news we have based on this PDP and also to just get the success that is necessary for the coming election, declare public holidays. Ohana Heze tells the Southeast governors, worried by the low collection of the PVC in Southeast, the Apex Igbo Sociocultural Organization, Ohana Heze, is it Ohana Heze? Ohana Heze Igbo has urged the Southeast governors to declare a public holiday or public holidays. And I think I want to key into this. According to them, it said that the stringent strategies should be put in place in order to compel Igbos to collect their PVCs. He even said that the Southeast governor, should please organize or arrange mobilization strategies and awareness campaign through the party leaders as well as the councillors or all of those leadership in order to mobilize people to go for their PVC before the expiration date, which is 29th of January. So all of his points was that the state governor can just say, okay, this is a day for the public servants. You know, you guys should go out, go get your PVC, as well as the traders too. He even said that for people that are working with the government as well as people that are earning salaries, they should tell them if you don't show your PVC, you're not collecting your salary. Same as schools. Before you can, for parents, before you can register your children, they should show your PVC. As well as for market women, before you can enter the market, show your PVC. And I actually think this actually is a very good one. Not only in Southeast should they declare a public holiday, it's actually something that they should do in the whole of Nigeria, including the FCT. That everybody will giving you a 2 days break, go out there, go get your PVC, because a lot of people can't even leave their job. Like somebody like me, even not because I've gotten it before before now, I wouldn't have been able to go out get my PVC because I work 247. The only time I have to myself is no time and it is for you, my viewers. So there's no how I would have said, okay, I want to go to somewhere, you know, to sit for 2 hours, 3 hours just because I want to collect PVC. But if there's a public holiday, then people will know how to work things around.
We need to applaud INEC's efforts in extending the deadline for the collection of PVC.
Sure.
At least by a week, they'll be able to. You know, I was saying it on the show last week. The INEC should please either extend the time or they should extend the date. And thank you, INEC. I know you saw the video, you saw the show, and thank you for adhering to our own.
So I think now that we've identified that the INEC officials and other people like that watch the video and they do the will of our hearts, I think if you followers should always plead. You should always plead on the show for one thing or the other.
public holiday.
What I want to say is it should not be just for the organizing people.
Yeah, sure.
Not the Igbos alone. If the federal government can just give a day that will not affect people's job. It will not. Okay, I understand the fact that if the federal government gives a public holiday to civil servants, private institutions might not.
Sure.
Everybody, let it seem like the New Year holiday or something. Yeah. Everybody should go because I understand the fact that even if they declare 10 days as public holidays for people to get their PVCs, some will still not go. We understand, but at least a reasonable amount of people would go for their PVCs. So it's actually very nice if the federal government can actually key into this for the Igbos and everybody in general to collect their PVCs. At least everybody wants the betterment of the country. We want things to work out, and the only thing we can do is collect our PVCs and vote. I mean, voting in the right person will make this country better. So if that's the case, there's no problem.
Of course. Amadi, what do you have to say?
So people are already going to the PVC center with maths. Because so that once they come the following day, I'll be
you should have met us. You don't see me. I drove some
I was exactly over there.
I mean, we have dedicated Nigerians.
Actually, a good move by organizing Igbo that they should please, and we are also pleading that they should please, at least if it's just 24 hours for the is enough.
Yeah, sure.
And people would, and I believe people would turn up to actually get it.
But then,
one more thing, it's enough. It's okay if the federal government gives the public holiday. One thing is them giving it. Another thing is people tripping out for it. It's not like they will not give because of course they are hearing us now. Not like they will not listen and give the public holiday. And you guys will now use that much. We understand that you need rest, but not for that day. That day is for collection of PVC. So use that day judiciously. Don't take the public holiday for dinner dates or anything. No, it's not for that.
It's actually
after you've collected your PVC.
Okay, thank you very much. Meanwhile, I actually wanted to add this, and that's the fact that the Ohanaeze Indigbo, whatever, actually added that traders, like I said earlier, that they must gain PVC before going to the market. And his motive to that, he said this is actually a wake-up call to the eligible Igbo voters across the country to rise and pick up their PVCs wherever they are. We are collaborating with the governors to make sure that the uncollected PVCs get to the owners before the election, and we are ready to take extra measures through special arrangements to ensure that the PVCs are shared to all eligible voters across the 95 local government area of the southeast. That's that. They are trying to say that a wake-up call, and there I can as a news review, there's a news reviewer that I am. I want to pick it out that a wake-up call, telling you people that you see that is all this years that Igbo have not been able to get there. This is a point for us to, come alive. You guys should get your PVC, which is your only ticket, to bring in our person. That is just me trying to pick that out. Though he did not state it, but I'm feeling like that's what he felt. So he's just trying to talk about Peter Obi, that you guys should go out and, bring him in. You can't tell me that you want Peter Obi and yet you're not collecting your PVC.
If the only measure they can use or they can take to make Peter Obi win is, of course, that's just the basic thing they're supposed to do.
Even though he does not win?
Even if he does not win, at least they have a right motive. I think it is a thoughts that actually matter. They have the right motive to, asking people to collect their PVCs and all of those things. And if Peter Obi wins, it's a win-win for them. If he does not win, it is still a win-win because there is no rule that says that when you campaign once, you can't campaign again.
Exactly. And meanwhile, just as we are all saying that, thank God, we are out of 2020, and a lot of things that happened during 2020, of which COVID-19 was the major one major thing that happened. We were like, thank God that it's over. But just in COVID-19, Nigeria records 29 fresh cases in 1 week, really? And this is just coming after the US, UK, as well as China have said that they've declared another, like a new variant of COVID-19. And Nigerian Center for Disease Control reported 29 new COVID infection recorded across 5 states of the country, as well as the Federal Capital Territory. They released this on Sunday morning, noting that the latest report represents cumulative data for the cases recorded in 1 week from January 7 to January 13, and that is 29 cases just a week. And they are even assuring us that it is not the variant of which the UK, USA, and China have seen, but it is the old variant, you know, the one we finished from in 20.
Omicron.
Yeah, the Omicron, and not. Are you sure the Omicron?
No, it's the Omicron.
It's not the Omicron. The Omicron is the new
Normal
one.
COVID-19 was 2020.
Exactly. So he was actually saying that the other what's it called? Other states, the UK, US, and China are battling with Omicron, but we are still dealing with the COVID-19, the old man. And now to the public, the WHO has said that it is better to just, you know, be preventive in all of this. We can't just be sure when the Omicron will get in, and I even pray that the Omicron does not in any way get in. So they said that everybody should please get your face masks back, you know, your sanitizer, and the basic things that you need to do just for you to, you know, be safeguarded. Exactly.
They should not. I've started this year, 2020. I started the year very well in a beautiful and glamorous way. I don't want to. I have plans for 2020.
She's saying they should not start. But
they should not even start.
No, they should not start.
They should not start because fine. When in 2020 we understood the fact that there was COVID.
Yeah.
There was COVID.
Yeah,
but it wasn't like the way they said it, the way they pictured it. It wasn't like the way everybody was talking about it. It's like the government.
Okay.
Now I want to use this particular case for an instance. I wouldn't mention the state because if I do, nobody is going to come for me. But I wouldn't mention the state. There's this particular. Each state has, you know, I think even each local government, they have a center where they put in their COVID patients and all of those things.
Okay.
Now I was opportune to see this firsthand, not like somebody told
you.
This particular state, in a particular town of this state, they, you know when I start talking about, anyways, there was a building, there was this particular building that belonged to the government, so they kind of renovated the building. They furnished it. I mean, there's always lights in this building. They brought in mattresses, they brought in a lot of equipment, medical fast. In fact,
beds.
You would even think they were going to start running an hospital in that place. Something that when the state hospitals would need, they would start saying we don't have it. They brought in a whole lot of things I could not even. If you say the buses they used in, did I say bus? Trunks they used in bringing mattresses and all. Now that's one thing. This particular place, it is still in existence till date. I don't know if they've packed out their mattresses or no single patient was brought to this
but it's supposed
building.
to be a COVID-19 facility.
It's supposed to be a center for treating COVID patients. And if every day we see the news from so local government, that particular local government, they will say we 20 new cases.
You know, there was one
you
child
for
that rated that 2020. They keep on uploading every day. Lagos.
They were using it as competition.
They are now using competition. The state that has the highest, lowest.
I was now wondering, this place is just like few houses away from where I was staying at that time. How come there are no people in this place? At the end of the day, it is X-Men that were using that building. But the problem is, there's always lights in that building. I mean, every time in the evening, you know, the cartoons will come in. They even have security guard that is there. So when I said they should, I'm just using this example just to
reiterate the fact that they should not start.
Not even start. I'm not saying there is no COVID, but no, they should not.
I even want to believe that the reason this is surfacing is due to the fact that they heard that UK, US said
even when the whole thing surfaced in China and all, the federal government was reassuring us that there is no problem. They even said you don't have to go through the necessary procedures if you want to travel
sure.
COVID and all.
It was around that last month or November that Bakare was saying they should cancel anything regarding COVID-19.
So what's now the problem? See, everyone that has been caught on COVID, may the Lord heal you. But please, it is, even if people have this COVID, it is the right start we need. We don't want you start scaring off people.
Exactly.
We don't want 29 people infected. Start telling us it is 100. We don't want it. You just give it to us as it is, because the fear of COVID can even kill before COVID comes.
Sure.
And we all know what we experienced 2020. I don't want to experience that yet
It's really traumatic.
I have
very
well that one day on, one day off.
Yeah, sure.
That day on, COVID is not outside.
Hey,
Outside and do what you want.
I mean, it's just
very off that you're inside. There's COVID. You must not step out.
It's just so sad.
Oh God,
And the
actually,
usage of masks, yeah, in fact, everyone is now used to it. I'm sure, don't forget, I went in 2020, I read a particular meme, so the kind of meme that, let's say, a few years to come, God forbid, when you check your pocket, you see the mask, you not be like, 2020. You now say, oh yeah, use your, I don't know what they call it, just use that face stuff, let's go and kill zombies. Now that COVID is recurring, what would happen?
It's a memorable year, 2020.
actually, nobody expected that COVID would just, the way. See, in Nigeria, like you said, most of all of those things, even as a media person, I'm even finding it difficult to believe. Because the way the whole thing started, and the next moment you just say, okay, everybody, COVID, there's no longer COVID. And the next thing you told, okay, everybody gets COVID-19 vaccines. I actually collected the first dose of the vaccine, and the second dose I've been going over and over. There's no, I think I collected as, one kinikon, as kinikon. The name is Shawan as Calabish like that. So, I was like, okay, let me go for the second dose. At least let me complete this thing. They'll be like, it's not available. It's a clambish that is ready. There's no clambish that you collected. Mama, me calm down. But now then the next time, those people that used to stay outside of the hospital, to give the they stopped coming. We don't see them again. Well, like, so are you telling me that we don't need to collect the vaccine? Until date, I've not been able to collect the second dose. And next thing they told us that, okay, don't worry, you don't need to go with face masks to prevent this.
I'm not collected.
And the next one you go to, you are telling us that, okay, the airports that used to pay money, it's like we've generated enough money from there. Don't pay again. Like it's not looking like it was a scripted work.
Yes,
when you want to act a drama and you've scripted something and you be like, okay, I will do this in one, scene two, and when we get to the last, okay, cinema, end of the cinema. That's the end.
Finishing.
Okay, no, now they felt like, I be like, say that COVID-19 and sure banker, or maybe we'll start them again. Maybe that's what they are doing. But
I need us to understand that Nigeria is in debt and we don't have enough money or the facilities
to waste.
We don't even have doctors. We don't have the necessary things to take care of these people. So if you start telling us that 100 people has caught COVID, and that's not true, we'll go back to the billion things. Please, nobody should stop.
Okay, meanwhile, while we're still saying that it's true or not, please, you guys should be safe out there. Exactly. Make sure that you practice the normal thing. Yes. Try and use your face masks at all time, as well as wash your hands often. Don't come in contact with people directly, and when you feel people that are coughing or sneezing or even having catarrh, so kind of stop it. Soft throats and all of that, please, distance yourself from them. Not like distance themselves, but in the right way. Just try and make yourself, protected to some extent, because you can actually say that it is wrong, and at the end of the day, it is right.
So you guys don't actually love me. I only
no, I held you.
And you're running away.
I'm supposed to hold you. I held you. Now,
see,
okay, thank you very much. Meanwhile, in the other news, we're still talking about health, and we have no reason to review Tinubu's health status. According to Kenya, who else can do that? Okay, Festus Keyamo, still while talking at the Arise TV morning show, he said that the presidential candidate Bola Ahmed Tinubu of the APC, he said that there's no need to to reveal his health status. According to him, he said that Tinubu has never collapsed. He has never fallen anywhere. So why are you all asking for his health status? Asking for it is quite baseless. And he also said this, that no matter how much you all repeat it, no matter how much you parrot it, no matter how much you jealousy, he did not say that. I heard that. The fact still remains that there is no evidence to prove that he has any health issues. And he said, according to him, he said, I have not seen anything happen to my candidate, and that has not happened to that has not even happened to any other candidate. If you talk about one thing that he has done, it has obviously happened to some other candidate somewhere and somewhere. He now asks you, Keyamo is asking you all, and I'm also helping him to ask you, has he fainted?
No.
Has it collapsed?
No.
So nothing has happened. So don't stress.
But he has slid on his body.
He has been saying things he's not supposed to say.
Okay.
How can you be when I had
Okay.
when I had him when he said this blah 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 blah. When I was not talking to the president, he was trying to say Ula Balu. And then from Ula Balu, we moved to Bulu Bulu blah, blah, blah. So you are telling me that your candidate is alright.
Worry.
You are telling me that your candidate is alright, fine. I'm not disputing the fact. But why would your sound LV candidates come out wanting to call his party just 3 letter words? Not giving it additional PDA. No, they actually said it because he lost PDA. Even if, see, I get blue for him. Even if his candidate is okay, like he said, it wouldn't cost them anything to review his.
No, see,
and please, before you talk, I know you have a lot to say. If you look at it statistically from 2022 till date, one of the person that has given content creators the most of work as well as the most of money is Tinubu. Even when you go to this particular social media page, TikTok, we have one particular DJ that is called DJ YK. Also about and you know, he just knows how well to
mix.
We have Bakare, we have God bless AP. I don't mind me. You can. I wanted to say Tinubu. You can continue.
No, you can continue. Like somebody said,
okay, just
yeah, you look like Tinubu. And they started fighting. If you tell me that I look like,
but in all odds, against all odds, Tinubu is handsome.
I was going to talk about reviewing his health status.
Okay.
Now, fine, a lot of people like we just did. We've been talking about his health challenges, the way he pees on his. He once did, not the way the way he once peed on his body, the
of
way
which
he talks.
Festus came out to tell us that it was sweat.
It was on a particular place. Anyways, that's their problem. But if truly your candidate is healthy, you don't have to try to make a point. Don't try to prove a point. You know, okay, there was this...
Wait, Muffin, before you continue. It's not him trying to make it. I'm trying to support Keyamo here.
Okay.
He was asked about his Oga's health status. So he just told them that you all do not have any evidence to back it. So you, whatever you see that you say, whether I say this, you don't have any evidence. So anything you say with my candidate is not something that is not normal. It has happened to all the candidates. So he's just trying to, you know, I'm just trying to correct you so that you know what next to say. That Festus was not in any way trying to prove point. He wouldn't have said anything about it if he was not asked.
You think so?
Sure, he wouldn't have pointed it out.
Obviously.
He was.
You know, you said earlier that they're trying to support Festus. So
yeah, sure.
I'm not even going to argue because any argument with Festus and Co. Festus and Co is just business.
Okay.
All right. You know, there was one time they were saying Tinubu is not healthy. Can't start for 10 minutes, and then we saw a video of him riding bicycle. It wasn't necessary. It wasn't needed.
No, that's just to show you that I'm ill.
You see, then they were trying to prove a point. They were trying to, okay, you're saying this, Abby, don't worry, I'll give it to you. I was going to cite an example. I had one show a particular time, a very long time ago, and then somebody came into the comment section, started saying a whole lot of things. Of course, it is expected. I'm a media personality. People can say anything to me. If I was going to try to prove a point, I'll start responding in the comment section. Or my next show, I'm going to, you know, state that somebody said this. You don't mind the person. It's not necessary.
It's not needed.
I overlooked it, and that was just it. No, the person did not come back to me to say something like that.
So there are some people like that need attention. So if you
ever since they started mentioning about, they started talking about Tinubu's health, if it was that they've not tried to, you know, prove anything to us, they were not even talking about it. They are just like people are just ranting. People would have stopped talking about it, but because they kept giving us reasons to debunk whatever thing they are telling us, so it's just them trying to make a point.
Okay, if you say so. Meanwhile, another news, and this is actually to some extent good news, and it says that the Edo state government has already said that 12 victims of the train station attack in the state were on Saturday night rescued by the special forces, comprising of operatives from the army, the police, the DSS, local vigilantes, hunters, as well as other security agents. And shortly after visiting the rescued kidnapped victims, the police cottage hospital in Benin City, the state capital, on Sunday, Godwin Obaseki, the governor of the state, actually told us that he actually berated the authorities of Nigerian Railway Corporation, saying that they did not provide enough security. And he also threatened to, sanction the traditional rulers of that area because they were still giving their lands for herding, to graze men. So herdsmen for grazing. And he also said that no amount was paid for the release of all of the victims, but the special forces went in and overpowered the kidnappers, but they actually went away with the remaining 2 victims. At least this is actually a success, at least from 32.
Was it 32?
Yeah, 32. No, one escaped, 31. So they were able to recover, rescue, and later now 12. So now it's not even up to a month.
No.
And they've rescued almost everybody. It's just remaining 2. So according to him, they can't even leave that jurisdiction because they are being circled. They just have to continue. At the end of the day, the remaining 2, that's the only thing. If they don't kill the remaining 2, then the remaining 2 will be released, because they made use of the Air Force, and the Air Force helped them with different kind of things, the drone and all of that, and it was very easy to capture them. My own point is now, thank God for this particular one that has been done. That's to show that our security agencies are not handicapped. They are really working. Why is it that they are unable to capture all these unknown gunmen, unknown non-men, the terrorists, the bandits, all of that?
And the thing is, Emilokan, if you remember vividly, I keep saying one particular thing, that they are not handicapped.
Sure.
Our security agents are not handicapped.
This is actually proof.
They just need an order. But who is going to give that order? Is it the same person that said thieves should go and rob? Is the same person that will call police to go and catch them? Now, for this particular state, they just wanted to. That is just to show that for a particular state, they were able to achieve this much success. Now, not talk of the whole country. What my point exactly is that whatever banditry, terrorism can be conquered if they want it to end.
Sure.
The only thing they need is just to give an order. We don't need people that would be talking, be having an interrogative sessions with bandits,
discussing, negotiating,
people eating with them.
I'll be taking money to them, okay, you guys, this is the money you. That's just
exactly.
Don't let me say
that's the height of
That's just the height of it. We need people that will be like, hey, okay, now you people keep saying they are unknown, but you know their hideouts. You know their location. If you want to give them ransom, you know how you do.
You go there,
but you are not capable enough to arrest them. What kind of? That's just it's a form of stupidity.
It's so malicious, and it's seeming like there's something fishy.
Nigerians don't we don't have sense to justify whatever their motive, whatever thing they are trying to do. So my point exactly is, you see, if we want to end terrorism today in Nigeria, it's just on the snap of it, at a snap of a finger, because it can be done with ease. What they need to do is just, in fact, they don't even need security agents to raid their items. What they need to do is just, you guys, it's enough. Stop doing what you're doing. We'll pay you off. And that's just because I want to believe that it is actually our leaders, these big politicians, that are behind terrorism and banditry in the country. So what they need is just, you people stop is enough. What do you want? 10 million, I will give you. 10 trillion, I will give you. They have the money. So
that's another thing. That's another negotiation.
If the negotiation is to end, if the negotiation
what if they negotiate and at the end of the day it does not end?
Now this is what I'm saying. If the negotiation is to end the whole thing, and if you guys now say you don't want to listen, this is a repercussion. Would have no choice but to hand you over to the necessary. If it's for that reason, they should negotiate and stop the old
and the country should be at peace.
Exactly. I mean, you imagine what they did in
Edo, less than a month.
Edo. no.
A state. Okay, maybe the whole of the body of the security should go and learn from there.
It's not like they don't know what to do, but there's nobody to ask them to do what they know how to do. That's just it.
Anyway, I just believe that Nigeria should do better. The security forces should do better. We can't continue living in insurgencies. We need to have a country where it works, as well as, we are peaceful. Everything we are doing is peaceful, and we can go about our day-to-day activities without having to think that what happens to me. Like, for example, just look at that man, that Catholic priest that was burned. Burns, that death is traumatic. Burning, with pain and everything. I can't even imagine the whole story behind it, but I just saw
surround his house so that he would not escape.
But why? Just because, see, that is just a tip of an iceberg. A lot of things happen on a daily basis, Sometimes I don't even want to go through the metro news because it's so saddening. Gunmen killed, gunmen raped, gunmen being unknown, bandits, terrorists, sky. Stop it. Like it's just too much, and I think we can actually do better, and I pray for peace in Nigeria. We really need it right now. Jakonde best Lagos governor, Tinubu's strategy based on falsehood, appropriating Ambode as well as Fashola's success. The camp of presidential candidates of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, Atiku Abubakar, on Sunday claimed that the political strategy of the standard bearer of the All Progressive Congress, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, into the next month's election is based on falsehood. This particular news has a lot in it, but let me just bring it to summary. To them, they believe that Tinubu is actually the worst civilian government ever. And, they try to tell us the narratives of the whole of Jakonde's achievement, the way it was all about education, the way it was all about infrastructure, building hospitals, building the roads, doing this, doing that, as well as making education sit. They even spoke about the fact that LASU, Lagos State University, LASUTH, as well as other things that basic secondary schools and primary schools all through Nigeria that are Lagos State that are still functioning were actually the products of Jakonde, late Alhaji Lateef Jakonde, who was the governor of Lagos State, former ex-president of governor of Lagos State. Well, now they came back to Bola Ahmed Tinubu. From the fact that he actually spoke about him meeting some certain amounts in the government treasury, of which he increased to 5 billion naira during his own administration. They said all of that was a lie, even after it was confirmed with the CBN. They got to know that it was all a lie from the beginning. They spoke about different things. They actually spoke about Jakonde building low-cost housing in Lagos State, and everybody was just living so peacefully, low cost. But during the Tinubu's administration, it was when the general word recorded that Lagos is now the next to the worstest living, if there's a word like the most worst state to live in. Lagos is the second in the world. Very expensive. So he's just trying to tell us that Jakonde actually built it and Tinubu destroyed it. That's just like bringing it to summary.
You see, can I?
Okay.
The people that talk about the fact that it was Tinubu that made Lagos, Tinubu built Lagos, there's a truth they don't want to accept.
Okay.
Which is, okay, fine. Let's
okay, well, wait, before you continue. There's a particular part where they actually said that at a point, whenever Tinubu wants to campaign, a particular project that was done by the by Ambode is what that is always on his poster. All in the name that, fine, Ambode actually recorded success too in Lagos State, but Tinubu, being the godfather, chased him away due to some certain disobedience. When a father reprimands a son that,
no one that was saying
that kind of thing. So this is actually coming from PDP.
Anyways, what I was going to say,
the
truth they don't want to accept is that when you do something and you don't have a good follower, somebody to do
continuity.
God bless you. If you don't have a good continuity to whatever project you started, forget it. It's gone. If we want to add, if we want to agree that actually Tinubu built Lagos.
Okay.
And the next administration did not continue the good works they might have laid down.
Okay.
Whatever success they recorded right now is not going to be attributed to him. So I want to believe that when Tinubu was the governor of Lagos State, he did amazingly well. But the next governor after him, the next administration after him, did more than what he did.
Sure.
If not, do you know what Fashola did in Lagos State?
Fashola, when you want to talk about BRT in Lagos,
if you want to talk about who made Lagos what it is today,
stop it.
if you want to talk about how Lagos is, how beautiful Lagos is today, we want to talk about who made it the way it is. We shouldn't be talking about Tinubu
at all. At least we can still pick Fashola, Ambode, and Sanwo-Olu. Exactly. Because it's not like Sanwo-Olu did not do anything.
So
he has done something
exactly
too.
My point. Let's say the first person that the next governor after Tinubu started off well, and the next administration after him did not do anything. So whatever Lagos is enjoying right now is just as a result of good continuity. So if Tinubu keeps saying I built Lagos, I want to believe that he's actually saying he built Lagos because he's a godfather
to all of them that built it.
He gives orders. He says, okay, this is what I couldn't do this, so I want you to do this. Even if that was the case, you wouldn't come out to tell us that you were the one that did it in your own administration when everybody it's glaring.
It's just an eyesore.
What Lagos used to be before Fashola cleared everywhere. You know, BRT everywhere. You can't even cross some roads. You can't go through one way.
The last mile, wherever.
Everywhere is just organized. I mean, it's just.
Even though, well, with the fact that what's his name, Fashola did a lot of things, with the fact that somebody did a lot of things, when you get to Lagos, you still be like, my lord. Lagos is not for the weak.
It's not
it's for the one who are strong at heart, strong in mind, strong in body.
Easily,
oh my God. Lagos is not just, I just believe that Tinubu should also do better. As I always say, all of you should do better in your own places. Rounding up, because the time is not just by our side, we have this coming from Tunde Bakare. Emilokan politics will breed dictatorship. Bakare said this Emilokan politics that insists on one turn even if circumstances do not align is bad. Excuse me. The politics of entitlement also manifests as a perennial candidacy, not with the intent to serve, but to gratify long-time personal ambition. I actually know who the whole of this summary is talking to, but Tunde Bakare is trying to not point it out. Don't you forget that Tunde Bakare was also part of those people that, was trying to run for the presidential seat under the same umbrella of the same person is referring to, of which he came out to tell us that, okay, this and that, I'm stepping down. I just want to give you that background. Tunde Bakare steps down.
Is it at the primaries?
Yes, sure. It steps down. It could also manifest as insistence on giving political office as a reward for what is considered a lifetime sacrifice, whatever. He's just trying to talk about the entitlement politics will only breed imperial presidency as well as a government that is not democratic. Rather than democratic, it will be authoritative, because it's all about it's me. It's all about selfish ambition, not because they have the love of the country or the particular seat at heart, but they are just there because they feel like I have done this, I have done that, I have done this. I'm just like the next person. I'm just like the person you should give the seat to. I brought you in, I brought you in, I brought you in. So what do you think? You should also bring me in. And that's where the Emilokan narrative comes in. So now, Tunde Bakare is not only, it's not holy. It's also, exactly, it's not holy. But I love it for the fact that he's bringing it out from this point of view, and the point of view is reasonable. Sometimes when people talk about there is always sense in nonsense, and that is just it. Tunde Bakare is talking as if he's a saint, but in the other word, he's actually talking sense. So let's just listen to the sense and forget about the personality. No, I want Tunde to go first. She has a lot to say.
At first, when all this election primaries and all
of that,
I was telling my dad that this man is old. What is he looking for?
Sure.
But
please, which man are you referring to?
I'm Emilokan.
Who is Emilokan? I don't know.
I'm Mr. Jagaban of Lagos. I was telling my dad he's old enough. He shouldn't be stressing himself.
Agitating
based
for a
on saying you want to rule Nigeria. You are a godfather. Sit down. Bring out this person you want. and then everybody, as the man used to be, just say it and everybody follow. But as things were going, and the next statement I had is Egbe Kini Iwa Emilokan. The first question I asked my dad is show ye delay. It is not family's entitlement. So why would you say Egbe Kini Iwa? I told my dad, if we look at this thing very well, this man does not have anything good to offer Nigeria. He just wants to be in the record of Nigeria that I was once a president. It's not as if he has anything good to offer Nigeria. If you have something good on your head, this person that is in power right now is in your party. Why didn't you tell him these good things that he said you have? Then you see him come out and say, what Buhari said, we were going to do better. And this is pepper and the seed inside. The two of them are dangerous. Uju is the seed. Let's enter your eyes like this, you are done for. So I see Tinubu as the seed of pepper. Just coming out. The shege we saw during Buhari's regime, we are going to see pro max.
So that's just the tip of an iceberg.
I see him as somebody that Yoruba will say Toriki Yoruba de Shiregun, Loshen Shore. All the meetings they've been having, I made this person, Sikibashite meeting, Duroi. If not for me, if not for God that stood for you, will this still be alive? So now come and say, if me, I'm sorry, Mr. Dagaba, but if he comes in as a president, exactly what we are going to a dictatorship leadership, if there is word like that.
Okay, moving.
I actually have nothing against Tinubu. I mean, I'm non-partisan about all of those things, but in reality, what Tunde Bakare is saying is actually very true. Because when you get there with the mindset of it is my turn, I don't care whatever you guys say, whatever you do.
I'm the next on the line.
I am the next. It's my right. And when you get into a post, you start feeling entitled.
Sure.
It is my right. I'm supposed to get this, regardless of probably people are suffering or somebody is eating salt sliced bread. You wouldn't even be responsible for people because you start feeling like I'm enjoying what is meant for me.
Oh my God!
That kind of mindset. And sincerely speaking, may the best man win, yeah.
Sure.
And we are just here to analyze, to review the news. But I see Tinubu's regime as an authoritative regime. There will be nothing like democracy. We're in a democratic state, but there will be nothing like democracy because it's going to feel like it is whatever I have to say that you people must listen to.
Exactly.
It is whatever I have to offer that must be done. It is whatever I want that must happen. So there's no space for Tinubu. Can we do things like this? Okay, I feel like that road is I'm sure you are whining. It's my turn. What are you saying? You have no
do this, and that's the final.
So people in his cabinet will not even have a mind of their own. They have to wait.
Somebody that has not become president is telling us that agbado, cassava.
No, I said that was even okay. Somebody calling a whole governor of a state, it's actually so derogatory, so to say.
If you don't understand Yoruba in-depthly, you might
mean this one.
This thing.
Like who are you?
This one. No, this one.
Kini. I mean, it's just so derogatory.
This thing.
And people has actually turned it to, if I call somebody
they will say, which person?
Who are you?
Okay, thank you very, very much. And thank you. We've heard everything from our own point of view, not like we have the knowledge of everything. We're just saying it just as a basic individual that understands what's happening in Nigeria. We've seen it, the to and the fro, and we're just anticipating for the best, not like we're also hoping for the worst. Everything that is happening in Nigeria is due to the fact that we voted in bad leaders with our own PVC. So go use that same PVC to vote out the bad leader and vote in your conscience. Don't let me say good leader now, because no leader is good. All of them are actually after their pocket, and nobody has the interest of the country at heart that much. So please go out there and make sure you cast your vote with your conscience. Don't sell your vote, and please stay safe. Consider the fact that WHO has said it that we should go with our face masks because of the COVID-19 that is telling us that it's back. So please go along with your face mask, protect yourself, use sanitizer, stay away from people that are coughing, having sneezing, and also having bad exactly, cough and catarrh, so that you are protected at all time. Mufi, do you have anything to say, or do you have anything to say?
Yes, I do. Of course, I always have things to say. I want to plead with the government. I mean, the government,
they should
listen to the plea of the Ohana Indigo. They should probably give a day or two public holidays for people to collect their PVCs, and if this can be extended to the federal level, I mean everybody. For those that haven't collected VIAs, they should just go out and collect it. It should be, because this PVC is as important as our life. Like I would always say, you know, everyone should just go out there to collect their PVC.
Okay, thank you very much. Do you have anything to say? Okay. Thank you very much for joining us today. It's still a happy new week, and it's still a happy new year. Please make sure you follow every social media platform, and do well to subscribe to our YouTube channel so that you can be a part of the family. And we'll continue tomorrow on News Review. And until that time, please do have a very safe time and a good night rest.